So welcome again to B207B. This is our last class for the semester. This is week 14 that also corresponds to unit 12 in the LMS. So in week 14, we are going to discuss leadership and motivation. In the previous week, week 13, we discussed the difference between leadership and management. And we said how leaders have the job of motivating the employees. They have the job of making them motivated and willing to work towards a certain goal. So here comes the role of motivation. Today, we are going to analyze the role of leadership in relation to staff motivation, the role that the leaders play in motivating their staff. And we are going to discuss some motivation theories, namely the Herzberg theory and the Maslow theory, which I'm sure you have seen in previous courses, especially the Maslow theory. It's a very popular theory that consists of the pyramid, Maslow, the hierarchy of needs of Maslow. All right, so leadership has a key role to play in motivating employees to perform and encouraging customers to purchase and keep on purchasing your product or services. Business leaders have the job of motivating others, making a good sense of them to work to achieve a certain goal. This is what motivation is, التحفيز, right? So how do you motivate others? You want to show them, you want to explain to them the outcome, how the outcome of their behavior or how the outcome of their actions will influence how it has a certain effect on the organization, for example, or on themselves, or on anything else. So you need to understand people. What motivates people need to be understood by leaders. Whether those people were employees to work, or if it were customers to buy your products, in both cases, you need to encourage them and motivate them to do a certain thing. So those leaders who have this ability are very successful leaders because they have the ability to encourage others and make them do a certain thing that they want them to. So leadership in a motivational sense is about setting the direction and focus of an organization, making sure you have the support of your employees and creating a strong, positive, forward-looking energy that will drive your organization towards its vision and goals. So now I'm located here in this room, okay? Suppose, so if I am a leader and my vision says that I need to move to the other corner of the room, okay? This is my target. This is where I want to be. So I'm in point A, and I want to move to point B, this other corner of the room. Okay, so I know what's my target. I know what's my goal. I need to go there. But how many ways are there to go there? Is there only one way? 2 ways? There are many ways. Okay, I can go there in so many ways. All right. The difference between leaders are the different strategies that they will use in order to get to the same goal. All right. They will use different routes, different directions in order to reach a similar target or a similar goal. All right. This is a business decision that needs to be made. And this business decision could be right or wrong. Sometimes it can prove to be wrong. It's not always right. So those leaders who prove to take the right decisions in moving to the right direction are more, take their companies in the direction of success. So working towards the same goals and making a clear leadership statement about the why of what you do is important. All right. So today, if I have a leader who wants to go from point A to point B, needs to explain why we want to go there. All right. He wants to explain why, because it's a part of motivating others that this outcome there, reaching that other point B, is actually a good thing. All right. So the skills of convincing and negotiation and the skills of being able to influence others, of course, are part of this leadership and motivation thing here. So there are a number of theories of motivation that offer key insights into employee performance. It is simply important to understand that employees in the private sector are not always motivated by money. All right, so not all of the time we are motivated only by money. We are motivated by other things. So people are not only motivated by money. There are other things that motivate people. Like what? What do you think motivates people other than earning their salary? Is it only money that motivates you to go to work every day or to go to university every day?
Promotions.
Yes, to learn, to progress, also for career progression, to progress, for self, to see your friends, yes, to socialize, absolutely, because this is part of also being part of a certain group, of achieving a goal together, absolutely. It has a certain motivation as well. So what motivates us about our jobs is not always money. It could be something else. All right. The two motivation theories that we are going to study here will show us what things motivates people to do their jobs. Herzberg's two-factor theory of motivation and Maslow hierarchy of needs are the two motivational theories that we are going to look at here. Okay, so the first one is Herzberg's two-factor theory of motivation. What are the two factors that motivate people to the presence of motivation factors and the absence of hygiene factors? So, who is Herzberg? Who is this guy? He's a scientist. Okay, he analyzed the responses of 200 accountants. They are workers, they are employees and engineers who completed a survey on their positive and negative feelings about work. Okay, that was back in 1964. You might argue that this was a very long time ago and that things have changed now, but this theory is a very classic theory that applies on all the times. Okay, so the study revealed two principal factors that influence employee motivation. The first one is the presence of motivation factors. What are the motivation factors? The feeling of being valued. When you feel that you are being valued, that your thoughts are very good thoughts, that you can do a great job, that you can contribute to the work in a great way, this is the feeling of being valued. Okay? because other people have a good value for you. They look up at you. Okay. The career progression is the feeling that you are able to progress in your career and the feeling that your work has a purpose. So you go to your work every day and you know that whatever you are doing is actually benefiting someone, is actually having a good purpose, whether to yourself or to others. All right? This is what having a purpose means. Having a good purpose is a big motivator. It's a big motivation factor. So what also motivates people, actually demotivates people, is the absence of the hygiene factors. The word hygiene here means the basic factors, the very basic factors of human beings, okay? Such as clear company policies, company benefits like insurance, like the main vacation, days off. These are the company benefits, the good relationships with managers and co-workers. So again, for Herzberg, the two-factor theory of motivation are 2 points: the presence of motivation factors and the absence of hygiene factors. Okay, notice that for these points, they have to be present. But for these points, they should not be absent. Okay? Now, the second motivation theory is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The hierarchy of needs assumes that there are various levels of need that must be satisfied in order to self-actualize. Maslow, yes. Absolutely. Exactly. Whenever you say Maslow, just remember this triangle, this pyramid. Okay? When you build a pyramid, you need to start at the top or at the bottom? At the bottom. You cannot build the pyramid at the up if you don't have a bottom. So the most important part is starting with level 1. Okay? So the physiological needs, like the need for food, for warmth, for shelter, for light, and for water, these are the most basic needs of human beings. If one of these needs is not met, then people will suffer. Okay? So this is the most basic needs of people. You cannot go to the next level up if you don't satisfy this need for people. So number 1 is you need to satisfy the physiological needs, which are, as we said, the most basic needs for human beings. Number 2 is called safety and security. People need to feel safe and secure. Not only safe and secure in their workplace in terms of being away from problems or fire hazards or something like that, but also they need to feel safe and secure in terms of they don't feel they will be fired at any time. All right. So in workplaces where people are fired very often, the other employees who stay will have a low, what we call a low morale, a low safety feeling that they might be fired at any time. Okay, so this is the second level, and you cannot go to the second level until you finish building this level. Okay, now once you finish building this level, you can go to the next level up. The next level is called love and belonging. Human beings like to have a circle, like to be a part of a circle, of a group, of a certain community, right? So just like you said at the beginning, you want to go to work to see other people, right? So this is being part of being loved and having a certain belonging, that you actually belong into a certain group. Now, at work, this group of people actually achieve their goals. They achieve a certain task or a certain job given to them by upper management. All right, but it's a great human feeling to feel that along with other people you have achieved the same outcome, or you have succeeded with this teamwork. All right, so this is the need for friendships, for relationships, and for family. Now, once you are done with this level, only then you can go to the next level. Actually, in level 3, you need to have good relationships with the other employees, with your managers. It should be a relationship based on trust and loyalty and friendship. Okay, now number 4 is esteem. We always use this word when we say self-esteem. Your esteem should be high, you need to trust yourself that you are able to achieve things. You should trust your knowledge and your experience and your ability to achieve things. So you need to be confident about what you can achieve, and that others can respect you because of what you can achieve. This is a very important feeling that you have. This will make you very motivated if you feel that. All right, so notice that as we go up in the level, we go more into the psychological needs of people of how to be motivated. Now, finally, once you have achieved all the levels, you can go to the self-actualization, which is reaching the best out of people. All right, we always see people who could do better than what they are doing, who could give their best potential. All right, so once you have achieved all the 4 levels, you can reach a point where you can give your best, when you could reach your best potential, and you can feel that you are doing really well and very motivated. Okay, so here, actually, you know the theory now. I have explained the theory for you. What we need to do now is to read the Paula case. And you can get the Paula case if you go to the Amazon Drive. You open the Leadership and Motivation session, which is session 14. And you find it here as the case study. It's called Case Study Motivation. So let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you. Can you read it? Can you read it? Yes? Okay. So I will give you some time to read this case study. Just let me know when you need me to scroll down. Okay. So take about 5 minutes to do that. Remember that as you are reading, we need to link what we read to the theory that we have studied. Okay? Okay, are you done? Okay, so what parts of this case did you find related to the Maslow or the Herzberg theory? Okay, remember, we study the theory and then we read the case. We need to relate what we read to the case study. What happened to Paula? So Paula started to do the work. She was promised she was going to be given some training and development. She was promised that she will be promoted into the marketing manager, but unfortunately she wasn't, because a lot of work was thrown at her and she had so many smaller tasks to do. Okay. After that, a marketing manager was appointed. This is the same position that Paula was promised that she will become. All right. So even the marketing manager did not have time to speak to Paula and to give her any training or development that she needed. In addition to that, because Paula works only 4 days a week, she always missed on the weekly meeting. All right. And she had to do, so she felt out. She felt out of this circle of the meeting. Later, when she was appraised, she was criticized for failing to capitalize on a number of marketing opportunities. So she asked for training, she wasn't given training. And then she was criticized for not advancing in her career. So she felt this is very unfair. What else? All of this has led Paula to feel very demotivated at work, and she had to leave her work. This is a very classic example of stories happening every day at jobs, because the leaders at those jobs don't have the time or don't have enough energy and thinking to motivate the employees and to deal with the employees properly. Okay, now the question here, so using both Herzberg and Maslow's theories, briefly describe how the managing director could have motivated Paula more effectively and prevented her from leaving the company. How could the leader have used the motivation techniques that you now know because you are studying this course, how they could have used these theories in order to motivate Paula? What do you think? So let's take the motivation theories one by one. We will take Herzberg theory first. Okay, which point of these two do you think applies? Was Paula feeling valued? No. So she wasn't feeling valued. Did she have career progression? يعني did she progress in her career? No. Okay. So she wasn't feeling valued and she didn't have a career progression. So the motivation factors were not there for Paula to feel motivated. Okay. Did the company have clear policies for career progression? She was promised that she will be promoted to marketing manager, but she wasn't. So there is those policies are unclear. Okay. Did she have a good relationship with her manager? No. All right. So also the absence of hygiene factors is there. Okay. Some hygiene factors are absent. Let's go to the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Was there any problems mentioned on the physiological level? The food, water, shelter, light, warmth, were all these satisfied? How do you say no? What was mentioned in the case study to tell you that the physiological needs were not met? Yeah, but the physiological needs are the most basic needs of people, like having food, having water, having a shelter. Nothing was mentioned in the case about these. So this was met. This was okay for Paula. Number two, was she feeling safe and secure? Was there anything that was mentioned in the case that told you she wasn't feeling safe? She didn't feel like nothing was mentioned. Okay? Nothing was mentioned. So now we go to the next level. Level 3. Was she feeling good relationships with other people in her work? So the feeling of love and belonging, was it there? Did she have a good relationship with her manager? No. No. She didn't have a good relationship with her manager. Yes, but we don't mean in the sense of friendship here, but we mean in the sense of good relationships, of being part of a certain circle, of a community, of a team. She missed the meetings every week because it was her day off. Okay? So she felt like she was left out of the circle. So the sense of belonging was lacking for her. So this is where she was stuck. All right. Once you are stuck at a certain level, at this hierarchy, you can't go to the upper level. You have to fix this level first. So what do you think the manager should have done to fix this? What did the manager should do? What should the manager do to fix this? Maybe change the date of the meeting to make sure that she is there, for example, or update her on a regular basis so she doesn't feel left out. Okay, try to improve the relationship with her because she needs to feel this feeling of love and belonging. Okay, so the answer here we have the answer for Herzberg theory, and this is what we said, this is what we explained about Herzberg, and here we have the Maslow answer and the second point. Okay, so the MD could have dealt with Paula's feeling of lack of recognition and not being valued by offering her a clear idea of career progression. She could also have empowered Paula to be more focused in her work by introducing a strategy, giving her the sense that you need to help her to achieve her goals. Okay, giving her training and development, helping her achieve her goals. This was not available. This would help to build Paula's sense of belonging, which is the level 3 at Maslow. And also the sense of feeling valued, which comes at which level? At level 4. She could have ensured that the new line manager had a clear sense of their responsibilities with regard to line managing Paula. Okay, and this included giving her some development program, yani training her and developing her, increasing her knowledge and skills in order for her to achieve her goals. Okay, is it clear? So again, it's not only important to know the theory. What's important is that you can link the theory to the case. You have a mini case and you can link the theory and apply the theory to the case. Now, the culture in the relation of the leadership, we always hear that people have left their jobs because they don't fit with the culture. بيئة العمل. Okay, they leave because of بيئة العمل, because people there they don't fit with their personality. For example, the culture of existing on the job is extremely important for people to be motivated and do their jobs well. Specifically, this culture, when you have people in a global organization from so many different countries, from so many different places, they were raised in different ways. They have different habits, maybe. They have different ways of dealing with others. So in global organizations, this makes things even more difficult because you need to be open about other people's culture and how they behave and how they deal with others. So understanding culture is a key challenge for leaders. Leaders need to understand not only the culture of the organization, but also the culture of each person and their background, where they are coming from. Their culture will also help the leader to understand how they could be motivated. Good leadership is tricky to pin down, but today's leaders have the added challenge of working and competing in multicultural environments. Today's leaders know how to deal with people from all over the place. It's becoming more normal to have people from different backgrounds. So what skills does a multicultural leader have? They appreciate an interest in the culture. So they show you an interest. Oh, you are coming from Mexico. Tell me about your country. Or maybe the leader goes back and read about, for example, the Mexican culture to learn more about this person who is coming from Mexico. All right. So the appreciation of and the interest of cultures allows you to show respect and allows you to know the employees better. Awareness of own bias and prejudice. So don't prejudge people based on your own culture. You have to judge them based on you understanding their culture. Ability to listen to employees and take evidence-based decision. So the ability of listening to what they need and what they want. The awareness of how education and training can change their minds. The flexibility and the ability to adapt to change. We need to always keep changing. This is something we learned in week 7, change management. Ability to speak foreign languages. If you speak more than one language, then you can reach out to people much easily. Competitiveness and willingness to take risks. Also, the background in politics to handle potential conflict situation. So you need to be political, and you need to be you know how to deal with problems and how to solve problems between different parties. Any questions?